Warning, the following show will spoil the hell out of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire books and the TV show A Game of Thrones. Also, you're probably going to find a fuck ton of bad language. The explicit tag is there for a reason.
Death and boobies, 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 death and boobies.
Hello and welcome back to the Ironwood Network Book Club. I'm your host, Maester Ironwood. Here with me, as always, is Septa Ironwood.
Hi, guys.
Septa, how you doing?
Doing okay today.
That's good.
Now that we've had that rant, we should probably, because we only did that for like...
I moved this to the end of the episode. So, if you would like to hear our 10-minute rant about COVID-19 and the state of the healthcare system in America, stay tuned to the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I will actually move it this time.
Okay.
So,
do you need a clap track so you can see where it is?
No, I'm going to assume it's right around it ended right around 14 minutes.
Okay.
So, ended 14-ish. So I'll be able to find it from that. So I'll be a little late getting to bed tonight because I'm going to have to find that and move it as the part of the editing process. But anyway, we're not here to talk about all that.
No, we're not.
Or Facebook lighting me up for pointing out that Joe Biden's probably a rapist.
Yeah, speaking of which, did you put your phone on?
I did.
Okay.
So we're not going to talk about that. We're here to talk about what?
Cersei.
Cersei 5. Cersei numero 5.
Mm-hmm. I hate this chapter. I fucking hate this chapter. Ugh!
Cersei's so annoying.
I don't want to. Yeah.
Cersei is annoying. All right. Before Septa Ironwood gives us a nice synopsis of what the fuck happened in this chapter, I do have a haiku.
Yep. Go for it. Let's get this bitch just done and over with.
No jousting for you. No playing with Ser Loras or his stunning lance.
Don't be dirty. The kid's like 8.
Remember, what did Ser Loras say he was when he was that age? He was Renly's squire.
Yeah, he was a squire.
To Renly.
Yes.
And you maintain that him and Renly are fucking.
That probably happened when he was older. Who knows?
Or not.
Or not at all.
Or... also, when he was Renly's squire, probably. Because there was no, like, age limit on
I see you nodding your head there.
At that time.
No, I'm not gonna, consider the thought that Renly was fucking a kid.
Okay.
Nope.
I mean, in reality, Ser Loras, at this point in the story, is, like, 17.
Mm-hmm.
So, even 3 years ago in story time, when you're pretty sure that Renly was fucking him, he was like 14.
Yeah, but at that point he knows what sex is.
Oh, so it's okay if men and women, adults, and now fuck 14-year-olds because they're old enough to know what sex is.
No, because that's Westeros. This is here.
Right. Okay, so it's fine. So you can then think of what I'm saying is. You're obviously okay with thinking about Renly fucking a kid because you are fairly certain that he was fucking a 14-year-old kid at the beginning of our books.
Whatever. It's too late.
That is the logical extension of your believing that Renly and Loras were in a relationship.
I didn't know. I wasn't paying attention to Loras' age when I was discussing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, so... yeah, he was like...
at this point now, I kind of hope not.
Yeah, he was like maybe 16 at the beginning of the story.
Okay.
So, just saying. Renly most likely was a pedophile, yes. Okay, anyway. Why don't you go ahead and start with a synopsis?
So, fuck Cersei.
Let's not.
No.
Let's not do that.
Who knows what she probably got scabies or something. So it starts off with Tommen is upset because Cersei won't let him play with Ser Loras and Marjorie. he wants to sit on the Iron Throne, sit in the small council meeting that they're supposed to have. And Cersei's like, no, bitch, that's my seat. Right. You're too young.
I'm the queen, so fuck you.
When you're old enough, you can sit in as many small council meetings as you want. Your father slept through any of them he did attend.
Right. Your father.
Yeah. Well, she called him King Robert.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not your father.
Right. Your pretend daddy.
Yeah. So... Tommen has his fit. Cersei says, well, if you want to be a king, memorize all the old kings and who their hands were and tell them to me all tomorrow.
Yep.
Cersei goes and has her small council meeting. Mm-hmm. Well, whatever, in the throne room.
Yep.
With the man from the Iron Bank.
We'll get into how that goes.
Yep. Then she has the meeting with the sarcophagus.
Yeah, the Master of Coin.
Yes.
Her new Master of Coin.
Yep. Then she has lunch and...
Plots a murder.
Yes. Well, no, that's later in the day.
Oh.
I can't remember what she did in the middle of the day.
It wasn't really important.
But by the end of the day, she has dinner. Oh, it was something with Jamie.
Well, they were arguing about Tommen.
Yeah. But she has dinner with Felice. Is that her name?
The Lawlesses.
Yeah.
Or
Felice and her husband.
Yeah, Lala, whatever her name is.
Family.
Mother and father. Yeah.
And plans a murder.
Yep. Of Sir Bronn.
Yes.
All right. Let's get into this because.
And let's get out as soon as we can.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of this chapter either. Yeah. But because it's just more Cersei insanity. Like, just we're piling on. We already we get it. She's insane.
Yep.
Like, we just need to pile it on even more, I guess.
We do.
So, so the whole thing starts with she sees Tommen training in the yard, jousting.
No. It starts in her room while she's getting dressed. Tommen is whining that he wants to sit on the throne while she's getting dressed. Because someone else is getting her dressed because she mentions that Sanel was given to Qyburn.
Yeah. No, yeah.
So, what's Qyburn doing with these girls?
Horrible shit, because they scream.
Oh, so he's trying to dissecting them alive.
He's dissecting them alive, yeah.
Yeah, that's so mean.
Yeah.
So, Sanella's gone.
Yeah, poor girl.
Dorcas, that's her name, Dorcas.
Yeah.
Is Cersei's new dressing maid, whatever. So, Tommen wants to sit on the Iron Throne and join on these small council meetings. Marjorie is really urging Tommen to do these kingly duties.
Yes.
If it's either to actually get him to learn how to be king or just to piss Cersei off, either way, I'm all for it.
Could be both.
Yes. All for it.
Probably is both.
Yes.
Probably at the insistence of her grandmother, too.
Yes. And Tommen can't call her Queen Marjorie. He has to call her Lady Marjorie because Cersei is queen.
Right, which she's not. She is Queen Regent.
Yes.
There's a difference.
Yep.
Except in Cersei's mind, there's not a difference.
Yes. The whole thing just irks me. She specifically tells Tommen to his face, "You are king at 16. I am queen." And then thinks, it's my time. He can't have it.
Right.
What the fuck? You are not the queen. This little boy in front of you rules the kingdom. You are supposed to help him learn to do it. You're not supposed to do it for him and then take all the credit yourself.
Right.
That is not how this works.
Right. So just imagine if Ned Stark had listened to Renly and taken Joffrey into custody and gone through with Robert naming him regent.
Mm-hmm.
For basically co-ruling with Joffrey.
Yep.
Ned Stark would not be ruling in Joffrey's name.
No. He'd be showing Joffrey
right, he's showing him how to do it properly. Yeah. Of course,
just Joffrey like he showed Jon Snow how to do it.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. So, well, and Rob.
Yes.
Little Rob fucked it up.
Yes.
All right, yeah. So this, the whole thing is still this Cersei's power trip.
Yes.
Is like the whole arc of Cersei, this book so far.
Mm-hmm.
She just irrationally believes, A, that everybody's out to get her.
Yep.
And B, that she is in charge.
Yes. Because she deserves it.
Right.
Not because...
of any lineage or anything like that. She just deserves it.
Yes.
Sure, why not? Go for it. I mean, what could
Doesn't
possibly go
sound
wrong?
crazy to me.
What could possibly go wrong?
Right.
All right, so...
So she sends her kid on his way, and she goes and sits at some table in front of the throne because she can't sit on the throne.
Right. Which lets you know that she understands deep down that she's not actually in charge.
Right.
Because if she didn't really understand that, she'd just be sitting on the Iron Throne.
Like they have her do in the TV show.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes. So she understands she's not really in charge because only Tommen or
the Hand
can sit on the throne.
Yep.
At this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Not even Marjorie.
Yes.
Who's the actual queen.
Right.
All right. Yep. So she goes and does that, and then what happens?
She has a meeting with the Iron Bank.
Yep.
And they're demanding their money because she has stopped paying the loan back.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, well, you'll have to speak to the Coin Master, or the Master of Coin. And they're like, I've spoken to him 6 times. And she's like, we'll talk to him a 7th. 7 is a lucky number for our gods.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he actually, like, scowls at her. And he's like, that's not funny. She's like, do I look like I'm laughing?
Right. If I meant to make a joke, it would be funny.
Yeah. Talk to him again, but I can tell you right now, I'm not giving you any money until this war is over.
Right, which is the point.
Yes. And kicks him out.
Yep.
And then she goes and has a meeting with that guy, Lord
Master of Coin.
Giles.
Yep, Lord Giles.
Oh, I got a name right.
Sir Coughs a lot, or the
Sir
Master
Coughs
of Coin.
Yeah.
And he says, well, that's good. We're not paying the Iron Bank. That works great for me. That we'll just continue to not do that.
Yeah.
The boy toy that you want to be screwing, who you have building ships, says that he needs more money to build the ships.
So that they can be as extravagant as possible. They should be.
And so she says, oh, give him whatever he wants.
Yes.
Give Mr. Waters whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Mr. Waters has fired all the older captains, and he's now throwing younger, more untrained captains.
Stupid captains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like what they're doing, like with the nurses in the area.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. There's a lot of parallels between this book and like what's going on. It's like,
but yeah, so he is basically anybody who survived the Battle of the Blackwater as a captain is losing their commission.
Yes, because as Cersei says, if they didn't go down with the ship, they should have.
Yep, no captain should outlive their ship.
Yep.
So it's all younger people.
Inexperienced. That's the word I was looking for.
But White Harbor
Yes.
will be helping with the ships.
Yes.
Because they are... So we have some sad news. They have sent verified news that
Sir Davos
has been beheaded.
Yeah.
And his head is on the pike on the prison.
And you can tell it's him because his hands are with him and they're missing fingers on one hand.
And he has an onion in his mouth.
Yes.
So
that...
Definitely Sir Davos.
Absolutely, because nobody else could ever have their hands chopped off.
Well, actually, Lord Davos now, because he's the hand.
Nobody else could ever have their fingers chopped off.
Right. Or you couldn't do that post-mortem to any hand.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no way.
And there's no way that, just like a completely desecrated, dripped off face could possibly be mistaken for somebody else.
Exactly.
So definitely Lord Davos has been beheaded by the people in White Harbor, the Manderleys.
I'm just going to say, if you guys don't catch our sarcasm here, you have not paid attention.
Yep. Don't worry. Lord Davos is safe and sound inside the wolf's den. Now,
I'm not entirely sure about that, but I really, really hope that Davos is not.
Listen, he is safe and sound in Jon Stark's wolf den.
The furnace is kicking on.
It is. We're just going to keep going.
Okay.
I guess.
So because Davos is dead, they can have their lordling hostage back.
Yeah, they can have their hostages back.
Yeah.
Because they've complied with the crown.
Yeah. So they just hope that he's still alive at Harrenhal.
Right. Because the mountain.
Yeah, the mountain.
Yep.
That's enough said.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Yep.
What happens there.
Cersei says Pycelle seems to be much more agitated lately.
Yep.
And he's becoming more bold.
Yes, which she's not a fan of.
No, she's very pissed off by that. I can't remember what the other thing he said was. So after that,
That was basically the big part. After that is lunch with...
She's headed to lunch when she sees
Tommen
on a big horse with a lance.
Yep.
And he hit the mark.
Yes, he
and
did.
And he didn't fall off the horse. And the bag didn't hit him in the back of the head.
That's right. He tells her.
So he was so happy, and shocker, everyone around him is a Tyrell.
Yep.
Loras, Marjorie's cousins, everybody.
Yep. But it's okay, because he's with a member of the Kingsguard.
It's not the one that Cersei wants around him 24/7.
Well, it's not the one that Cersei wants around Marjorie.
Right. So Marjorie comes over and says, "Congratulations, now stop what you're doing."
Right. Cersei goes over and says that.
Yeah, well, that's what I said.
You said Marjorie.
Oh, Cersei.
Yeah, Cersei goes over and said, "You're done."
Yeah. Very well, but if you want to learn how to use a lance, I will hire someone to do it.
Yeah, we'll get a new Castellan.
Yep.
And they'll train you.
Yes.
And she's going to get one from Dorne.
Yeah.
Because that'll be better than the Tyrells.
Oh, it'll piss off the Tyrells, and that's what she wants.
Pretty much.
Because there's no way a Tyrell Kingsguard is going to train her son.
Right.
Because she doesn't want her son to befriend the family that he is married into.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, that is...
Well, remember, until they consummate the wedding, it can be just set aside.
Right.
So...
However, Tommen loves Marjorie, whether it's not...
Well, it's Natalie Dormer. Who
right.
You know.
But whether or not it's like a sexual kind of love,
right.
He's like 8-9 years old.
Right.
But...
Just saying, all men and women
it's like
in the world.
They're playing with their older cousins.
Yeah. All men and women love Natalie Dormer, I think.
Yeah. If you don't, you're dumb. So, Sir Loras, tries to convince Cersei that he should train him since he's around him all the time anyways.
Right.
And
he was about that age when Renly started training him as his squire.
Exactly. So, and Cersei not having it.
Yep. So both Loras and Jaime tell Cersei, look, he's at the age he should be somebody's squire. So yes, he can learn how to do all these things.
Yes.
Because that's what he needs to do. Like Egg was
and
squire.
she's like, a king can't be a squire.
Which is not true, because Egg was squire to Sir Dunk the Tall.
Egg was not king at that point.
Well, okay, true. Technically, he was an heir.
But at that point, he didn't think he would be king, because there were 7 people in front of him.
Right.
So.
But king was a squire.
Yes.
Future king was a squire.
Yes.
So, we'll see. But, yeah.
So she goes up to her room and has more wine.
More wine. Always more wine with
always
Cersei.
More wine.
Always more wine.
She's become quite the alcoholic.
Yes, indeed.
And prepares for her dinner with Felice and Felice's husband.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Felice is...
Navidad.
Felice is Lawless's mother.
Yes.
Lawless, if anyone is not paying attention, was the simple-minded girl who was raped during...
Gang raped by the entire city when they were coming back.
That Marcella went to Dorne.
Correct.
And she had been married to Bronn.
Yep.
And she had the baby, and Bronn named the baby Tyrion.
Yes. Which Cersei, again, does not like.
No.
At all.
Because Cersei is now convinced that Bronn is hiding Tyrion away somewhere wherever they are.
Right. Now he's not in King's Landing, he's with Bronn now.
Yes.
And the father of Lawless assures her, if he were there, I think I'd have seen him.
Yes.
And she's like, he's a cunning little bastard.
Yeah.
You probably didn't.
Right. He's probably hiding in your floorboards.
Right, yeah. So she's continuing to go insane.
Yes.
Now, yes, neither of the parents nor Cersei like Bronn of the Blackwater.
Yes.
Bronn of the Blackwater lost his only protector.
Yes.
In Tyrion.
Yes.
So, what does Cersei do? What does she tell the parents to do?
She kind of convinces them to have Bronn die in a hunting accident, similar to how King Robert died.
Yes. Now, let's play this out, because we've seen Bronn fight.
Yes.
We understand that Bronn is probably the least trusting, least gullible, least naive person in this entire story.
Yes, absolutely. He doesn't even trust his wife, and she's simple-minded.
Right. There is absolutely no chance that they are going to be able to kill Bronn in any sort of accident.
Right.
Zero chance of that happening.
He won't let it happen. He sleeps with his sword. He is that...
And a dirk.
Yeah.
So, I would say the most likely outcome here is if the parents try it, they probably die in an accident.
Yes. Which leaves Loras to inherit.
Well, she has an older sister.
Oh, yeah. Well, Bronn already talked about disposing of her.
Right, but they just need to get rid of her, which is fine. That's easy enough to do.
Yeah.
So, and then Loras leads, but since she's simple, in reality, Bronn leads.
Yes.
And now Bronn has his own house.
Yeah. Because they have a son, their son will lead.
Will then inherit. Yes. Yeah. So, yep. So that is, so Cersei is now 2 straight chapters sent out people to kill 2 characters. Mm-hmm. Jon Snow.
Yep.
And now Bronn of the Blackwater.
Yes.
I wish Bronn had as much to do in the books as he did in the TV show. I really do.
Oh, we did forget to discuss one thing. Cersei's disappointment in how her one knight that she has sent to...
yes.
What she call it? She's referring to Marjorie as some kind of horse.
Yeah. A mare or a filly, I don't know.
Yeah, filly. That's it.
The young filly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that it doesn't sound like she's plotting to have Marjorie raped.
Correct. Well, not raped. She wants it to be consensual.
Yes.
Because what she wants is Marjorie...
Them to be found out. Yes.
Right, yeah. Whereas, if he rapes her, that's just really bad for him.
Yes. And he won't get his lordship if that's how it goes. And she's mad that it's taking so long.
Well, it is a whole process to go before he even gets a lordship.
It is a whole... yes.
Because he has to do the deed with Marjorie.
Get sent to the wall.
Kill Jon Snow. Then get pardoned by Tommen.
Yep.
And then get his lordship.
Yes. From
the king whose wife he fucked.
Yes.
Don't see any of that happening.
Right.
It would probably stop at going to the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, Tommen would be like, no, he can't come back here.
Yeah. Oh, Uncle Jamie said no, so...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is her big plottings for and an update on her previous plot, which is not going well.
Yeah. Hasn't happened yet. He does spend time with her.
But she seems to have zero interest in him.
Right. She does. She is appearing to have zero interest. So if she does have interest, she's hiding it very well.
Or she just doesn't have any.
Yeah.
One or the other.
But she's also being the wife very well. Mm-hmm. She is very concerned with Tommen learning how to be king and all this other stuff. And then she also gives him 3 black cats at the end of the chapter. So, yes. Yep. He wanted a kitten. And Marjorie gives him 3. Yeah. Yep.
Much to Cersei's chagrin.
He's married. She doesn't have full control like she thinks she does.
He's the king.
Yes.
Yep. And thus ends another dive into the insanity that is the mind of Cersei Lannister.
Yeah.
Or Cersei Baratheon.
It drives me fucking nuts. Excuse me.
Do you know what our next chapter is? It'd be a little better.
I can't remember. I told you I'm 400 pages past that at this point.
It's Brienne.
Brienne, okay.
It's Brienne.
Okay.
All right. We need to come up with a title for this chapter. Don't blink at me like that. Like you think my idea is going to be ridiculously awful.
It normally is, which is why I agree to it.
Oh. Do you have any ideas?
I don't want to think too hard on her.
Okay. So, I had...
Sorry. Sorry.
I had playing with the boys. Because I just imagine, like, the jousting with, like, Tommen and Loras and the Kingsguard boys out there. Just like the volleyball scene in Top Gun.
Well, I think that would be accurate because Cersei thinks she's one of the boys.
Right.
In being queen.
Right.
And telling everyone what to do and how to do it. So, I will go with that.
Okay. Because that is the song that plays during the the volleyball scene in Top Gun.
Oh, is it?
Playing with the boys.
See, the first time you said it, I was like...
No, not those boys. Playing with the oiled up boys on the volleyball court.
In their short shorts?
No, they were wearing jeans and no shirts.
Oh, okay.
And for some reason, they were all oiled up outside.
Well, yeah, they want to get a nice tan on their top half and not their lower half.
But yeah, all right. So I
That's
equated it to
it.
the volleyball. Yeah, I equated that Tommen learning how to joust scene to the volleyball scene in Top
Yeah,
Gun.
sure, why not?
Why not? Works for me. All right. Thank you everybody for tuning in.
Yes, thank you, guys.
As we mentioned earlier, if you want to hear Septa rant about the realities of what's going on in at least her little neck of the woods in healthcare during the COVID-19 outbreak,
Continue listening.
stay tuned right after the end of this chapter.
If you don't listen to the rest of the episode,
We don't care.
I will not cry over it
Right.
because I won't see it.
Yep, we won't care. Other than that, if you want to support the show in any way, need to learn how to subscribe, any of that good stuff, how to contact us with questions, comments, concerns, just head over to our website, IceAndFirePod.com, and we will catch you again on Friday in Brienne.
Bye.
Bye, guys. I am facing Facebook lashback right now.
Because you're a privileged white cis male.
Yep. Oh, they didn't throw in cisgender.
Oh, they didn't throw in cis?
He did not throw that one in.
Oh, he's probably too old to use that term.
He didn't look like it. He had the beard, but he's
Yeah.
definitely not a lumberjack, so
Oh,
he's
so-
definitely a
okay.
hipster. Definitely a hipster. But,
Did he have the man bun or the cap
you know,
on?
the hair was slicked back, so it possibly could have been a man bun. The picture was face on, so you couldn't tell
Okay.
if there was a man bun back there or not. Or a
Gotcha.
manny tail, I'm not sure. But definitely a beard without looking anything like a lumberjack. So,
Gotcha.
yeah. And literally, everybody was jumping down my throat saying that I was awful because I wouldn't vote when I am going to vote in the general election. And I didn't even say I wouldn't vote for Joe Biden. All I did was point out, hey, yes, we get to choose between either a 70-plus-year-old white male with probable rape charges against them, or who wears a blue jersey, or a 70-plus-year-old white male with probable rape charges against him who wears a red jersey.
Right.
And so we should all support women by voting for one of those two probable rapists.
Right.
I'm evil because I pointed that out.
Yes.
Didn't even say I wouldn't vote for Biden.
Yep.
I just said these are my two choices,
Yes.
which I think is a fair assessment of the 2020 race.
I think it's pretty accurate at this point.
100%.
Yes.
You are a woman.
Yes. I'm glad you finally pointed that out.
Am I evil? Am I an evil straight white male exacerbating and using my privilege by pointing out that both of our presidential nominees are probable rapists?
No.
And that that's a problem for me?
No.
And kind of disqualifying
No.
for both of them in my eyes?
It's pretty disqualifying, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So didn't one of them call you a woman hater or something like that?
Well, it was implied.
Was it called the Wee Man Woman Haters Club or something like that?
Who knows?
Schools?
Who knows?
The Woman Haters Club.
But yeah, I am no longer acceptably Democratic because I won't just simply vote blue no matter who. I have serious reservations about saying I will vote blue no matter who, even if they're a rapist, because they have less rapes than Trump. And that's why it's supposed to be okay.
And this was all in a fan group of one of your podcasts.
Yes!
This wasn't even a political post.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, it was a political post.
Well, right, but, like, it wasn't, like, the post wasn't from a political page. It was from one of your podcasts.
Yeah, it was from the Fans of Cognitive Dissonance page.
Yeah.
Which is a podcast I truly love.
Yes.
And they are, unfortunately, on that, both vote blue no matter who people. Mm-hmm. Although, with the rape allegations now coming out, I don't know if that's true on their part.
Right.
Because they're also, like me...
They're feminists.
They are... Right, exactly. They're actual feminists.
Yes.
Who actually believe that, you know what? A man who has credible rape allegations against him, and we don't have time to go through a whole trial to get to the bottom of whether it's true or not. I'm sorry, if they're credible, I think that that's disqualifying, and we should find somebody else.
Yes.
Personally, that's my opinion.
Yes.
Call me crazy.
Yeah. Well, if they find someone, quote-unquote, better to replace Biden...
Well, so here's the problem. The better person that they're going to find to replace him is going to be our lovely governor here in New York State,
yes.
Andrew Cuomo, who I am seriously no fan of. And I have even more problems with his policy positions than I have with Joe Biden's. Also a serious problem with the fact that he's Joe Biden but younger and could therefore serve 2 terms.
Yes.
Although he's not disqualified because, as far as I know, he hasn't raped anybody.
Right.
But still, not a great choice.
Right.
Like,
because
I didn't vote for him.
For us, we don't like him, though, because he's worried more about New York City than the rest of the state.
I don't even care about that. Like, I voted for Cynthia Nixon last time. Nothing to do with COVID.
That's the actress, right?
Yes, who ran against him.
Yes.
In New York for governor.
Yep.
I voted for her.
I think I did, too.
Yeah, but my dislike of him has nothing to do with COVID. I think that once he got around to actually doing something about the pandemic in New York, I think he's done a relatively decent job.
Yes.
When compared to...
how other people are handling
Donald Trump. He's done a relatively decent job. Now, a lot of the problems that we're having in New York State come from serious mistakes that he's made in the past.
Yes.
Like waiting too long to start doing things about COVID-19.
Yes.
Also defunding rural hospitals and the entire healthcare system in New York dramatically over the last 6 years.
Yes.
So
we did just get a cut in our hospital system past
exactly.
year.
So there are serious issues with Cuomo.
Yeah, they got the cut and no one got their raises, and now we've got this.
Right,
and
exactly.
They took 2 of our vents and sent them down to the city. Now we're stuck with 1 vent.
Right. So. But you guys also have no patience at your ER right these days because everybody's stuck inside.
But everyone in our area is actually following the stay at home, the New York pause, whatever they're calling it.
Well, actually, our county has like a D rating when they track cell phone distance traveled.
Possibly.
It's like a D.
But
we're one of the worst, actually.
But the people coming into the ER...
well, that's the thing, right? People aren't going out and doing the things they normally do. Like, nobody's going to the going to play basketball.
Right.
So nobody's getting like a
but here's
sprained
the thing.
ankle.
The people that come in constantly, they're regulars.
Right.
They're drug seekers.
Right.
We do get the occasional, the kid fell and cracked their head open. We have had a couple, like, really major things that have, they have to come here and stabilize before we can send them to a bigger and better hospital.
Right.
But there have been so many days now where we just sit and twiddle our thumbs because everyone is staying home.
Right. Well, that was
and if they're not staying home, they're calling us first and asking if they can come in. We're like, yeah, we'll be happy to take you.
Yep.
Because now that they
cough on us and have a fever.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, we'll stick you in the tent.
Yep. Go to the tent.
But
where they're wearing.
Now we're not getting our regulars. There's
right.
no sports accidents.
Yeah.
So everyone that comes in is either scared they have COVID. Thankfully, we have not tested anyone positive at my facility.
That you're aware of.
We've gotten all our test results back, and so far nobody has tested positive in our facility.
Wow.
So,
all right. Pretty impressive.
Yes. So we have been lucky. But it is everyone's staying home and we're not getting the work. So now we've got this hospital who the bigger corporation that owns us has cut our hours because the state cut our funding. So they're cutting our hours so that big hospital can keep their money. And now we're not making any money.
Right.
So now they're going to say, oh, you guys didn't make any money.
When everybody stayed home and didn't come to the ER because they were told to stay home.
Yep. So now we're waiting to see if this whole COVID thing actually gets us closed down.
I mean, and that's happening. Like, there's another ER up near Buffalo that is shutting down because they're not getting any patients because the only people going to hospitals right now are people with COVID-19.
Yeah.
Nobody's going for regular stuff.
We set up a tent and everything, and it's been used for 3 patients in the last week.
Well, that was the whole issue in New York City, right? So they brought in that ship with 1,000 beds.
And they used 80 beds.
They set up the Javits Center, and they put 2,500 beds in there. And what they were expecting was, okay, so all of the non-COVID people at all of the New York City hospitals will just move to these 2 facilities. Mm-hmm. The problem was they found out there was nobody in the hospitals in any great number who weren't there for COVID-19.
Because elective surgeries pay for most of
Because elective surgeries are why people are in hospitals, because that's how hospitals make their money. Mm-hmm. And that's how insurance companies make their money.
Yep.
So when you cancel all those, surprise, surprise, we don't have very many people in the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a normal day for us at our facility, it's in order to break even, we have to see 27 patients
right. In a town of 3,000 people.
Yes. Yes. We have to see 27 a day in a 24-hour period.
Yeah.
There are days we've seen close to 50, but in the last couple of weeks, we're lucky if we hit 15.
Yeah.
I worked the last 4 days. And we saw...
And read 400 pages.
I read 400
in a Feast
pages.
For Crows.
I read 400 pages in A Feast for Crows.
While working.
I have eaten probably more pizza in the last 4 days than I care to admit. And we averaged, in a 24-hour period, we averaged 8 to 9 patients.
Damn.
Yesterday, we did hit 13.
Wow. That's crazy.
And so we're not even, in my 12-hour shift, we're not hitting 1 an hour. We're hitting like the night shift average, which is 1.3.
Right, which is what got night shift turned off at your ER.
Because the state cut the funding, and so Bassett wants to cut the hours, so they're shutting down our night shift.
Yep.
And now we're losing money being open on day shift. Because we've had to pay for the tent, pay for all this extra supplies that we haven't used. Yep. Well, I mean, we've used the PPE.
Testing materials, PPE, extra PPE. Yeah.
Extra staff, because the ORs are closed down at the hospital. So they're trying to...
Plus the tent needs to be staffed.
Yep, so they're trying to keep the nurses on staff. So they're having OR nurses training other areas, other floors. So we have OR nurses down here to man the tent. And I can tell you 3 out of the last 4 days I worked, the nurses sat there with their thumb up their ass. Yeah. Didn't do anything. One read a book, one played on the internet, and the other one wandered. Yep. We saw 1 person in the tent, 2 people in 4 days. 1 on Thursday, 1 on Sunday.
Right, which just goes to show you, what are our hospitals doing on a regular basis when there is no pandemic? Because it's obviously not taking care of this massive amount of people who need to be taken care of. Right. It's all elective surgeries. That's all our hospitals do.
Well, the people we are getting now, if they're not worried about, if they're not concerned they have COVID, it's like little things like people, like kids have fallen, hurt themselves. We're getting a lot of dental pains because dentists aren't taking anybody.
Correct.
We're getting a lot of people looking for pain meds because they were supposed to have a surgery that was canceled. Yep. So, and their doctor won't take them to be seen. We're getting people who are looking for pills because they're drug dealers off the street. Yep. It's just, we're getting all this stuff that the other people can't take care of or
Right.
won't take care of because of COVID.
Yep.
So this is what we're getting in our little town.
Yeah. Which just goes to show you that our healthcare system overall is prioritized incorrectly.
Well, yeah, because people are coming in with their faces the size of a golf ball with a tooth abscess, and the dentist is like, sorry, that's not an emergency.
Right. Which, yes, it is.
It is.
That can-
Dentists won't take them.
That can kill you.
Yes, it can. Dental infections are one of the top infections that will lead directly to your heart.
To a heart problem.
Yes.
Correct. A serious heart problem.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely.